All right, folks, we're going to do a quick video. We're going to do a video on dominance, and we're going to see how what exactly it's doing. So let's turn this EMAs on. This is at the CoinTraderProCharts.com. And what I'm missing. Okay, I turned them all on. Let's go to the monthly. And like I said, the monthly, I thought this was in distribution. I closed the chart. I was going to show you guys, but I thought that this down here was in distribution and it was just going to continue selling off. I thought it would reach this zone here before we had this rally up. Before this, I thought this was going to happen here. So at this moment, this is the monthly. It looks pretty good. The scary part is that I think it could possibly pop up to 65 and possibly 68. It could do possibly 65 plus 68. Now, the good thing here is that the 233 EMA is still hovering over 65. I figured it would be around here by this time, but it's not. So that's a good thing. It's not crossing down to carry it up. It's just going to cross straight across. And then I believe dominance is going to drop and we're going to have a nice alt rally, and possibly pretty soon we could have a little nice rally in the lower time frame. Let's go down to lower time frame, and we have approaching a little supply zone here. You want to call this a bullish order block, so straight across here, so we can have a little nice pop, go down to the 200 EMA, which is the red one. This is the 55 EMA, so this red one is the 200 EMA. Come down before we go up, so we possibly could have a little all bounce sooner than what we expect. Comes down, make another attempt, and hopefully it does not regain this level. It regains this level, it's just wreck city for the alts. So let's see what happens. But I think dominance is sneering a little retrace to let alts possibly play a little bit. A 55 EMA just cross straight across here. These are higher time frames. I believe it's an approach. It's definitely in the supply zone in the lower time frame, and if I would draw this here, it's basically there. So right there. Okay. So there it is. I believe goes into the zone. We're gonna have alts retraced a little bit, and how far down? Positive to here, but the shorty block for price took off in this correction. 62. So let's mark this zone out. So this could be the next zone where if we have this little nice retrace, alts are gonna drop down to these levels here. Well, dominance, not alts. I think the bounces are nearing. Now, if it regains this level here, if it regains 64, guys, take it to the bank. It's going to go over to 68 and possibly 70. That's something that I've been talking about on my Discord. It's a good possibility. I think it's not going to stop here. I think said and done, it's going to go up to 70. Let me show the chart on dominance I have over here. Okay, let me show that chart here. I got a couple of charts. They all coincided with alts bouncing. I just kind of ignored it, so it's my fault. I didn't notice it until somewhere here said, oh, it's gonna bounce. So just ignore that wig. That's why I use CoinTrader Pro when charting my dominance. It doesn't give the crazy wigs. So I think we pop a little bit higher, possibly, before we start retracing and have little bounces on alts. So, and again, it's just confirming what I got over there. It's coming into a supply zone. This nice should actually be up here on top of these candles here. So we're gonna move this here. This should actually be up here, somewhere there. Okay. So this holds on to me. I think it's gonna be the little resistance zones that's gonna let odds play a little bit. I don't think this is where it stops. I believe that this here is gonna come down, get up, grind up into the primary trend line. Has been its primary trend line all the way here, grind up, comes down, lower time frame, reclaims it, grinds up possibly here, before it comes down, claims it, tries again, goes down, down, down. Okay, I'm not sure which version of this occurs, or we have worst case scenario. Climbs, grinds. Wreck City. That's the worst case scenario, folks. I do believe it's going to come close between 65 and 68. It comes back up here. Basically, your BTC alt back's not going to recover. And that's basically where some riches are going to be made. Not riches. I shouldn't say that. You know what? I'll take that back. I shouldn't be making those comments. Where someone could possibly make some good profits. And again, this is another chart. Again, this is, I do multiple charts, but you know, again, it's approaching the supply zone here. All right. And I do expect a little small retrace into that zone before it comes down, consolidate, and then makes an attempt to go into this zone here. And then possibly, that's worst case scenario, comes here, but I do believe it's going to come near it. So that's basically what I got for now. We see this sideways supply zone before that's a sell off. So we might have a little rejection. Also, I think going to start playing in the next day or two, possibly 3 days. I think leading into next week, we may have some alts bounces. That's basically what I got. I don't have much. Just be very selective on what you buy. Be extremely cautious. Have tight stop losses. Try to look at high time frames. I'm looking at a few alts in high time frames. Zil has been holding like a champ. 120, 126. If it could just have one more drop into that zone and build a nice base. Let me pull up Zil. I think Zil is, to me, a couple of days ago, I thought, don't get me wrong, I do believe they're going to continue to bleed. So I don't think from here they go back up. Possibly. This could possibly be the bottom for us. I don't know, but do this. I'm not so certain of that. I think it's going to be this, continuation down. Now, for this to be invalidated, for me, it has to claim 159. It claims the 160 zone, to me, invalidates this continuation downtrend, but it tells me, boom, they've bottomed. Okay, but to me, this is like a rounding top. Okay, we're going to have a little bounce. Let me show you here the 12-hour what's going on. I've actually entered this play, and my stop losses, I actually might get stopped out, to be honest, on 124. So let me show you. I'm taking a huge risk by entering now. This is what I'm seeing on the lower time frame. So basically we have the indicators. It seems like some accumulation going on here. A tight range before we have a burst up. The BB percentage is grinding up. So we could have a little nice pop soon upward. And I'm betting upward. Let's look at the 4-hour. Looks like crap. So I actually make it stopped out. But let's look at the daily. It's continuing to sell off. And it looks like shit. And it looks like shit. That's why I say we could have bounces in lower time frame, but by no means this is reversal. Okay, so I'm sticking to the 12-hour. So I'm gonna see if I get stopped out. I possibly will, based on this, because this is continuing on this downtrend here, and they've been holding this up like a champ, whomever they are, and come sideways, burst, makes a higher low into the zone before we get down, or possibly back to 135 and continues down. So I'm hoping this holds. Okay, if this holds, the first target will be 135 right here. See it? Boom, 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 boom. Impulse correction, which aligns with this here. This is the correction of this move. Came down, consolidated, sell off. So this will be my first target, 135 to 134, if it moves from here. But that's that. Just keep an eye on it. I do believe odds are gonna pop the next couple of days, later into next week. I could be wrong, but based on what I'm seeing, it could possibly later into next week. That's basically it for false dominance. There's really nothing spectacular. I've been talking about this already for a couple of 2, 3, 4 weeks to a month. That odds were going to be wrecked. Doesn't matter BTC continued to pump or not. They were in a no-win situation, and also dominance was indicating that it was going to be a little pop up here. Let me go to that chart. I think I posted this. Yeah, so this is basically my notes that I posted when it was dominance was here. I think I saw this in the 3-day chart. I wish I would have seen this a little sooner, to be honest. I would have positioned myself a little bit more better on some shorts. So I saw this moving sideways. Indicators. This is just classic bullish divergence. Going sideways as indicators are climbing up. To me, it was just obvious that this was going to happen. Now I do believe some also are going to retrace, and they're going to be able to run a little bit, and we're going to come down to this zone here. Look, it's already marked off. Okay, right there. Boom, boom. Move sideways and continue to grind higher. Let's see what happens when it comes here, but I expect odds pretty soon into next week to have a little, let odds bounce a little bit. They could bounce hard because some of them been holding pretty well as critical support levels in high time frames. That's basically it, folks.